Hey guys, this is Vulcan Wolverine, or Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine, and it is April 13th. I just sat there, I was talking for 30 minutes, and I had not turned on the record button, and I was saying some pretty good stuff. But I guess I'm gonna have to say it all over again. Basically, the gist of what I was saying, I'm laughing at myself so hard because I was sitting there. I talked for 30 minutes, and then I saw a zero. I saw a 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. I had not pushed the button. But good morning. It is Friday the 13th. I'm not superstitious or anything, but it's a beautiful morning, here in Louisiana. What I was saying on my video that y'all didn't see, the secret just video for me, is that it's really helped me. I'm going back. I'm going back, and I'm taking God's hand, and I'm moving forward like that, instead of, because my attackers have been able to kind of pull me away. I've never lost my faith in God. But to get closer to Him is important in this. And I just want to tell, even if you're not a Christian, finding your spiritual center or your will and stuff like that will help you to get through a lot of this hard stuff. These guys in Los Angeles, the Humanity Warriors, they're doing the right thing. They're going to City Hall and the police commissioners meetings. They're doing the right thing. We have to fight this. It is evil. It is experimentation on us. It's an abuse of technology, and so many people are being hurt by it. But it's really important. Dr. Barry Trower, he said, you can't control somebody's mind, you can only direct their thoughts. I've seen that in my circumstances, especially with my faith. When I really get into my faith, they seem to have less control, and God has more control in my life, and He puts resources in my life. Like I've been talking face to face with a TI in my city. I'm not going to name his name, but it's really helped, and it's been kind of funny and fun. Not fun. This isn't fun stuff, but it's like, what is your V2K saying right now? And he'll tell me exactly how they're kind of reacting to us interacting, and my V2K is also, I guess they're trying to. I don't know if they're going to come together and try and work together, our attackers. But the way that mine is, he's probably thinking of something. I definitely was thinking this morning. I've been thinking it a lot. I don't want to respect my electronic harassers. I don't want to say I respect them. But I'm not going to underestimate them anymore, because they have a trick where, y'all have seen my vehicular stalking videos. I've been focusing on that because it is physical evidence that I can grab onto. But it's kind of like they ramped it up. They ramped up my vehicular stalking because I was videotaping it. And I think that's a little trick, and that's a bigger picture of what they do, is they say, look over here, look over here, look over here, when the real thing that they're doing to you is over here. So it's hard to keep track of that. This is a complicated issue because it's complicated technology, it's a complicated program, and it's stratified and compartmentalized. So I'm really gonna humble myself before God and take His hand and let Him lead me down the path that He wants me to go down, no matter what. And even before I was making this video, which I made a practice video, like it was, I looked at it and it was like 0, and I had been talking for 30 minutes, and I was like, oh no. And it was good stuff, I was really speaking from the heart. But God has a purpose for it. I really I just really feel that way. And I feel when God puts resources in front of us, I mean, like this young guy who's a TI in my city, that's the most valuable resource that we can have as TIs, is each other. And I know that's a hard thing, because there are a lot of perpetrators, and we do get paranoid, because this does make you paranoid. It's meant to do that. It's a build up on you. It's it kind of ramps up, and they make you paranoid, and they make you think that maybe that some people who aren't actually vehicular stalking you, maybe it looks like that. So it still is a challenge, and that's why I'm gonna dig down deeper spiritually. The beginning of all this, I had a lot more humor about it. It wasn't so dark, it wasn't so ramped up, and I had a lot more faith, and I was almost floating through it, laughing at it, and just the whole thing was so ridiculous. And as the pain, they inflict torture from the directed energy weapons, it gets darker, because you're going through torture for so long. Yesterday I was kind of just like, I wasn't even responding to my attackers. I wasn't thinking towards them, because I'm just like, this is getting so old. I'm so tired of this, that I just kind of disconnected from them. And it helps to disconnect from them by connecting to your spiritual side. Even if you're not a Christian, even if you're not spiritual, there is a loving force in this universe. There's a life force in this universe that's like creation, that's loving people, that's helping them, that you can tap into your will inside of you. Because we're not all just flesh and bone. And comment on that, my belief is we're not just flesh and bone. There's more to us. There's a human element here that cannot be controlled, no matter how big a program is, no matter if it's a world kind of mandated program that's going on in every country to practice with these directed energy weapons. People are getting involved in it kind of mindlessly. No matter how big that is, there's a human element that cannot be predicted. And those are the things, to me, that's Jesus Christ, and that's God. That's my Savior, Jesus Christ, and God. That, as a Christian, that's what that human element is, that they can't touch. They can move me away from it to where I'm not paying attention to Him. I don't lose my faith, but I'm not paying attention to Him, but He's still paying attention to me. He's still got my hand. He's not leaving me. And I just want to like really tell y'all how much that's helped me to not not respond to my attackers. When I'm in my car, I don't yell out anymore, act out. And I'm sure I'm gonna fall. I'm gonna mess up, but I'm gonna be focused on really getting to that spiritual center, and getting through this, and letting Him walk me down the path that I need to walk down. People are doing such great stuff. TIs are doing such great stuff. We all get tired. And on the conference call, like there was a conference call last night, I don't know why I do this. Like on the videos, I can be upbeat, like with you guys, and I just want to be totally transparent. Before I made this video, I was I kind of drove out, and I was driving around. I was like, I don't know what to tell people. This is bad. It's big. It's a big program. It's scary. It's like I've talked to some women on the conference calls. They're living in their cars, and they're scared that people are going to attack them, because it's a program of stalkers who aren't doing the electronic harassment, that you don't know what they're going to do. So it is a big unwieldy program, and it is coming down, mandated from, definitely, I think it's our military industrial complex, the DOD, connected to, military agencies, and then filtered down, through the states. And the states really don't have a choice. They kind of just have to do it, because that's where the money's coming from. But it's that on a world scale. It's like that. But it's like that's why our republic was so good. We had states' rights, we had independent rights, and if the authority figures, in this state, if they, had the decision, like if they had the decision making power to say, well, we can make money from this, and it wasn't like this whole really world mandated program where it's like, we're going to roll out these directed energy weapons in every country's, their military industrial complex, and every country is basically participating. These men could make the decision, hey, we don't want to do that it's not good for our city, it's not good for our state. That's why a republic is so good and independence is so good. And I'm going to go ahead and dork out here for a second. I saw Civil War. I would see Civil War, if you're a target individual, because, I know it's not about targeting or anything like that, but, Captain America, he says, the safest hands are still our own. And with this kind of program, things are out of our hands. We're going to lose the ability to make our own choices. Because if you have, some people at the top that are basically making decisions for not only a country but a world, we're not going to have a choice anymore, and that's not going to be living life at all. But I do, I believe it with every cell in my body that there are good men in authority. There are good men in every agency. I'm saying every agency. There's no agency that is all bad or all good even. But awareness, like these leaders on these conference calls, they really they really stick on that. We've got to saturate the knowledge that this is going on, the awareness that this is going on. Once that's saturated, there's media attention. These humanity warriors in Los Angeles, gosh, they're heroes to me. They're doing the right thing. They're getting out on the street. They're campaigning for target individuals. We have to do that because, it's not about just the TIs right now anymore. This is coming to us all. This kind of technology, the directed energy weapons, remote neural monitoring, these sophisticated technologies that are really ahead of our time, and that's why we're, a lot of us are seen as mentally ill because, people who haven't experienced this, they can't understand it. So I just wanted to say it's really helped me to put myself in the hands of God and to really find that center. It really helps me to not take it on a physical level, because if you're just like living in your mind, you see how big it is, and you see how it's like there's so much money involved and stuff like that, and it seems impossible. But with God, nothing is impossible. And with the human element, and that's Jesus Christ and God to me, they can't predict what's going to happen. They being, basically the people with the money kind of mandating this stuff. Our military industrial complex, saying, hey, well, we know how humans are going to react, and, certain people aren't going to really care about this because it's only, 2% of the world population. I think it's about 2 to 3% of the world population who are target individuals. Now that's millions of people. So it's not a small number, it's a small percentage of the world, but it's not a small group of people. But I guess that's just what I wanted to say. I wanted to give y'all an update. I get hit pretty hard. They're going hard on me. I was kind of wondering last night, because I get on the conference calls and it's not like I'm like really down or anything like that, but it's almost like, when I was a little kid, I get a boo-boo and I go to my dad and try and act tough, and I feel like that's what I'm doing on the videos, and then I go to conference calls with these people that I've talked to so much, and it's almost like I'm going to my mom and whining. So I'm going to work on that because people do need inspiration. They need to be lifted up.